Michael Brown by Ferguson, Missouri police officer Darren Wilson was the flashpoint for weeks of riots. The city of Baltimore erupts after the death of Freddie Gray, a black suspect in police custody who died from injuries he got while riding unrestrained in the back of a police van.
The funeral of Freddie Gray marked the worst day of rioting in Baltimore since the 60s.
This is one of our darkest days as a city.
National Guard troops and waves of cops fanning out brazen standoffs between masked men on both sides, hurling anything they could, even crude explosives, at cops, police cruisers, and neighborhood cars on fire.
Welcome back to our episode we're calling Race in America. Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, these are cases that triggered debates. I'm back with Vanessa, Crystal, Shagun, Rolanda, and our studio audience. Thank you for joining us. A South Carolina school resource officer aggressively grabs a student. We saw it before the break. Take a look at this now.
Hands behind your back. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Hands behind your back. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Give me your hands.
Cheryl, am I missing something here? Is this bad policing?
Listen, this is over the top. This is outrageous. This was about punishment. This was about you didn't do what I told you to do, which is come here and get up out of that seat, and so now there's a price to pay. I'm going to punish you.
Now, Sergeant, it feels like every time we've had that conversation when things have gone bad, that has been one of the core sort of feelings we get from the police officers, whether they're dealing with a white kid or a black kid, right?
Right, and I can take race totally out of the picture. This is an officer who's drunk with power. This is someone who's been accustomed to doing this kind of thing. And the police department minimizes and mitigates that bad behavior. There's no consequence for those kinds of activities. And so this is not the first time he's put hands on a student. This is the first time we're seeing it.
Officer Cheryl, can I do you one better? That's a man on a little girl.
Absolutely.
So forget color. That is a grown man, and if you read his bio, he's a power lifter. He's doing that to a young girl. That is abuse. Forget color for just 1 second, and I don't like to do that, but he is overturning and dragging a little girl out of a classroom. That's horrible.
Okay, I'm going to show Cheryl another piece of policing. I think you'll feel it's sort of the same phenomenon. It's a party at a neighborhood pool. It had been advertised on social media. It got out of hand. Cops called. It was not a good situation, I understand, but a cell phone video caught this officer taking down a 15-year-old girl in a bikini. And Crystal, I don't know if you were in the conversations we had about this one, but it seemed, I mean, yes, this was a chaotic situation. This guy had come, we heard stories about how this guy had come from a terrible situation. He had just been in a suicide or something, was helping with a family that was grieving, and then he runs into this, and he got out of hand.
Yeah, this was a suburb, McKinley, Texas. I forget where it was, but there's two sides to this story. When I saw the video, I think it came out this summer, it was excessive force on this young woman. She wasn't doing anything. He slams her on the concrete, roughed her up, just like we saw with the young girl in the classroom. But we also know a DJ advertised that there was going to be this huge pool party in a public pool in a closed subdivision. And other accounts say that the teens, the black teens and the white teens were getting out of control. Neighbors asked them to leave the public pool. They didn't have permission to be there. The DJ said it was like a rave, right? He said, show up, we're gonna have a party. All I'm saying is that was wrong, but the problem with these cell phone videos is they happen out of context, okay? So a video is taken, it goes viral, we don't know all the circumstances. Again, I'm not, I think, yes, we don't. Just like with Michael Brown, and then when we jump to platitudes and we say, how many videos do you think are out there where young white kids are being mistreated by police and we're never gonna see? But we jump to, when we say, this is all about cops going out hunting down black kids. That is not true. These are isolated incidences, and we can talk about, if we really want to get, when are we going to really talk about crime and race?
My name is Pauline Violet, and first off, I really want to say, I grew up in Illinois. It was like this nightmare pill. All my life, I'm an African American, growing up seeing this deep-seated hate against black and white. And I'm like, look.
Black and white.
Black and white. when you grow up in an African American, a black family, it's like, oh, you better watch over there for them white folks. You better get up. When you grow up in a white family, we don't know what's going on. So I'm like, can we get some dialogue going on? Share some culture so that we can get to the real solution.
But notice there are no white people in this audience. There are no white people.
What I'm saying is this is a deep-seated hate. It's like the world has taken a nightmare pill. It's like everything you see, it's black on white crime, white on black crime. And what I'm saying is we need to get to the solution. You know, because if I get cut and if another person that's Caucasian gets cut, guess what? It's blood.
Yeah, I get you.
It's blood. So we bleed the same. So we need some healing.
This is a one-sided racial discussion.
But I don't
really bothers me.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is because again,
Chris, I can't win. We were going to do it.
How are we talking about race in America and we only, like that young woman just said, didn't you just get up and tell me that when you grew up in Illinois, the problem was you had you're running off of stereotypes because white and black people don't sit down and have honest discussions.
So often our voice isn't even heard. We need a full room. Sometimes our voices aren't even heard, and the media is so inundated with just one solitary white voice that is speaking for all of us, and it is not
and Al
fair.
Sharpton is a solitary
black voice. Yes, let's have a room of our people because we don't even agree.
I'm not.
So let's have a room full of black people. We did, and that's exactly why this room needs to happen. So we can talk about our differences as well. We're not monolithic.
I'm not a black.
We're not monolithic.
You know, it's like.
And listen, the idea was we can do it again, and let's just get into what. That was one of the options. I thought, well, it'd get too.
I get it.
I wouldn't hear what the problems. I want to hear what.
But I think, I think what we're missing. I think what everybody's missing is what we're doing is asking questions.
Yeah.
And we're asking questions, and we're all trying to find a solution. Again, take race out of that incident in Texas.
Yes.
It's a man on a girl.
Man.
So if you're talking about deep-rooted fear between blacks and whites, that's a man on a girl.
Yeah.
Now, what we should really be talking about is why he felt that was okay to do to a black girl. Because you want to talk about cell phone videos? I'm all for white kids taking videos of white cops beating up white kids and doing White Lives Matter.
Okay.
But this isn't me yelling. This isn't me yelling.
That's passionate. That's passionate.
This is passionate.
Sergeant Dorsey.
This is passionate.
I'll tell you why he felt comfortable doing that. Because here's the problem: there's no accountability. When there's when there's no consequence for that circumstance, understand that this officer Eric Casebolt had been on 3 police departments before McKinney. He was a Texas State Trooper. He was an Oklahoma City police officer before he came to McKinney. When police officers move from department to department, like NBA players change teams, is because there's a problem.
Here's the other concern.